Hello, hi, welcome once again to M5's English language learning program, Let's Speak English. I'm Gav Duncan and I'm here on your TV to help you learn English. Now, are you sitting comfortably? Yes? Good. And are you ready for today's lesson? Yes? Good. Okay, well let's learn English together. Hello people, hello and welcome to Wednesday. And yes, given the time of year and given the change in the weather and given the fact that it's getting colder and the mornings are a wee bit chilly these days, given all of those things, given all of those circumstances, we know that we can look up as much as we want. There's nothing to be afraid of. Batman!
I can smell it all the way from the interstate. What is that? Barbecue?
Oh yeah, but it's not coming from here.
What is that noise?
Look, even the Dreamy Time escorts are staring up at the sky.
Ah! Faster! Faster! Well, this is a turn up for the books, isn't it? Yeah! You'd have thought he'd have shown us his chopper last night. Yeah!
Of course, they're staring up at the sky because they're following a helicopter, aren't they? Yes, but that's not the point, is it? The point is that Colossus is now more appropriately dressed, and that takes a lot off our minds, doesn't it? Yes, but for some people that doesn't matter. Some people have got more on their minds than us.
Took me too difficult. You got hit by a bus last week and you didn't notice, did you? Yeah, well, I had a lot on my mind. Well, you would do with a bus on your head, wouldn't you?
Okay, let's just move on, shall we? All right, it must be time for our special guest. It's Wednesday, so that means it should be time for Enid. Enid, Ms. or Mrs., we don't know, Fotherington Smythe. Are you there?
What ho, Gav? What ho, everyone? Hello. How are you all?
Well, speaking personally, I'm fine. Thanks for asking. And what about you, Enid?
Well, thanks for asking, Gav. I'm better, much better. Last week was a dark week. The week was covered in storm clouds, as you know. But the clouds are clearing now, and I think that I can see the light at the end of the tunnel once more.
Well, that's good to hear. So tell us, what happened last week? What happened after you left us?
Well, can you be more specific, my dear? I mean, so much happened last week that at the weekend I didn't even go out. Not once.
What? Not once? Not even once?
Not once. I spent the whole time inside sorting out the mess and also sorting out the mess.
How do you mean sorting out the mess and also sorting out the mess?
Well, what was the last thing I told you all? Remind me, would you?
Well, the last thing that I recall was the fact that you'd had a bit of a run-in with Keith. He'd found out about the appointment with the psychologist and he reacted by doing something to your yogurt. I think that was it.
Oh, yes, I remember now. Yes, that's what started all the trouble. You recall that I told you that I was planning to see a psychologist.
Yes, of course.
And I'm sure that you also remember that I wasn't planning on telling Keith.
Yes, you said that. You didn't know how he'd react, how he'd take the news.
Yes, but typically, as you know, no doubt being Scottish, the best laid schemes o' mice and men gang after glee, as Rabbi Burns said.
Yes, okay, but what do you mean?
I mean that my plans, my best laid plans went aglee. Everything went avocado form, as they say.
Everything went avocado form. What? No, Enid, you've got the wrong end of the stick. It's not went avocado form. You mean everything went pear-shaped.
Oh, do I? Oh, okay. In that case, that's what I mean. But you do know what I mean, don't you?
Of course. Your plans went wrong. That's what you want to say, isn't it?
Exactly. It was my own silly fault, really. The problem was that I left my phone sitting on the kitchen counter while I was elsewhere. And You can guess what happened, can't you?
Did Keith see a message on your phone?
Yes, that's exactly what happened. Keith saw the message and saw who it came from. He saw that the message was sent to confirm an appointment.
What? So Keith actually went through your messages?
No, not that. At least I don't think he did. I think he was next to the phone when the message arrived. And with my new phone, when a message arrives, it's immediately displayed on the screen. Anyone can see it if they happen to be there at the right time.
Oh, I see. And then what happened?
Well, then Keith lost his rag. He lost his temper. He flipped his wig. He freaked out. He went all Charles Bronson on my yogurt.
Yes, but where was the yogurt? I didn't understand that bit. Are you telling me that Keith opened the fridge and started to run amok in the fridge?
No. I'd already taken the yogurt out of the fridge. There were a number of pots of yogurt on the kitchen counter. And well, Keith was on the kitchen counter, and my phone was on the kitchen counter, and that message made him flip his wig, and so he lashed out at the nearest thing. I suppose the nearest thing connected to me, the yogurt.
And then what happened? I mean, you didn't stay, did you? You came to the studio. You said that you'd watched the whole sorry scene develop on your new HD streaming secure Wi-Fi cameras, didn't you?
Yes, I'm glad that I did. I don't know that I would have been up to dealing with Keith when he was in his frenzy. You know what he's like. When he goes berserk, there's no stopping him.
But surely you're not afraid of Keith, are you, Enid?
I'm not sure. It's been such a long time since he wasn't this nasty, aggressive beast of a pheasant. You know, I think I am afraid of him. Well, no. Well, let me correct that. I think that we can say that I was afraid of him, but not anymore. No, that behavior is the old Enid. That is the behavior of being stuck in a rut. And I decided that I'm not going to be stuck in that rut any longer. Do you know what, Gav?
No. What?
It's been years, you know.
What? Enid, you're not making any sense. You do know that, don't you? I mean, you are aware that you're not making any sense, aren't you?
It's been years since I discharged myself.
What? You mean?
Yes, I was just thinking. A short, sharp shock might do Keith a world of good.
Well, yes, but what would Yogi Pear say?
Well, what Yogi Pear doesn't know doesn't hurt him, does it?
Enid! Enid Fotherington Smythe! Am I hearing things? Or are you suggesting that you should give Keith a shock and just conceal it from your yoga instructor?
Yes, that's about the size of it. What do you think?
Well, I don't think it's a bad idea, not at all. And if you think about it, this is a very natural development, isn't it?
Natural? How?
Well, for years now, you and everyone else has allowed Keith to bully them. And really, it's up to you to sort this out, not anyone else. I mean, you can ask for the assistance of a psychologist, but really, you don't need professional help, do you? You've got everything you need. You just need to start asserting yourself once again. You used to dominate Keith, but for a while now, you've allowed him to dominate you.
You know, you're quite right. Do you know what, Gav?
No, what?
When I came in, I was prepared to tell you about the 2 messes that I had to deal with this week.
Yes, I know. You said that you were going to sort out a couple of messes.
Yes, but now I've changed my mind. The worm has turned, Gav, and it's all thanks to you.
All thanks to me. How so?
Well, the first mess, that one's already dealt with. I can't not deal with that one. I already have.
Was that the mess with the yogurt?
Yes, that's the one. Well, I mean to say, I could hardly leave the yogurt all over the place like that now, could I?
Well, no. It wouldn't have been the most hygienic. And then there's the smell to consider. Semi-solid fermented milk products, that would really pong after a couple of days.
Couple of days, my eye! By the time I got back from the studio last week, the smell was enough to make my eyes water.
But I thought that your sense of smell wasn't that good.
Exactly! What do you think the neighbours were saying? Mrs. Pokinghorn was very curt when she said hello, and Mr. Bisfam ignored me when I said hello. So, that should give you an idea.
Blimey, that was quick. I didn't think that it was that hot last week.
No, but I think Keith turned the heating on. In fact, I think that he turned the heating on to make things worse. Oh, let me tell you, Gaff, he's in for it. He's going to get what's coming to him.
All right, but that can wait. What was the other mess you still haven't told us?
Oh, yes, of course. Well, that was the mess that I thought I was going to have to deal with. But not anymore. No, no more submissive Enid Harrier Fotherington Smythe. Not anymore.
Harrier? Did you say Harrier?
Yes? And what's wrong with that? I suppose now you're going to make some low-class joke at my expense.
No, not at all. I was just surprised to hear that your middle name is Harrier. That's all. It's not a common name.
No, it isn't.
And it was my grandmother's maiden surname.
Oh, really? So I suppose that your family isn't what I thought they were.
Enid, stop being so offensive. What are you implying?
Dear me, I am sorry. I meant nothing bad. And anyway, stop being so sensitive, dear boy. I'm just saying, you know.
What? I know what?
Well, my surname is double-barreled, and that says something, doesn't it?
Yes, it says that your parents couldn't agree on anything, for one.
Perhaps. You know, I never thought of it like that. Anyway, enough of this. Allow me to finish what I was saying.
Of course, go right ahead.
Well, as I said, I thought that I would have to sort out the mess with the psychologist. I didn't dare go to the appointment, not after Keith flipped his wig, and because nobody's prepared to babysit Keith, not after what happened to Rupert. Oh, that reminds me. Have you spoken to Rupert yet?
No, not yet. I was going to ask you how I should get in touch with him. I realized the other day that I don't even know his surname. I don't know the surnames of any of your gang, to be honest.
My gang? Oh, what a delightful idea. I'm the leader of the gang. I'm Gary Glitter. Oh no, maybe not. Not such a good role model, if you get my drift.
Yes, and I agree with you 100%. So anyway, are you going to finish your story or not?
Of course. So, as I said, I didn't dare leave the house with Keith alone inside. So I stayed at home, and Keith was in such a bad mood that I didn't dare do anything that might provoke him. Oh, but that's going to change when I get back.
Enid, the story?
Oh, yes, of course. So I couldn't phone the doctor, the psychologist, to explain why I couldn't go to the appointment. The best I could do was send a short text message saying that, unfortunately, I was unable to go to the appointment.
Well, that's not like you.
Yes, I know, and I feel awful about it, just terrible. But as I said, I didn't dare leave Keith, the little toe rag, alone. But he'll get his soon enough.
Enid, you are going to retain control, aren't you? I mean, we shouldn't worry about Keith, should we?
Worry about that little thug? Don't bother yourself. I'll see to him. But no, there's nothing to worry about. I'm in charge now. And now it's time to start the turnabout. Time to put people, well, pheasants, back into their boxes. Look out, world, here I come. Toodaloo, pip, pip, and all that. Cheery bye.
Well, blimey. Things are starting to pick up speed, aren't they? Keith's in for a bit of a surprise. I mean, Enid's finally going to reassert herself, and Keith the bully is going to get his comeuppance. Good for Enid. It's about time that she stood up for herself. And so we'll have to wait a bit now to find out what happened. You all know why, don't you? Yes, that's right. As of next week, we're going to be knee-deep in the next mega revision. Which one is this? I forget. Number 3? I think so, but as you all know, I've been wrong before. Summer of 1981. That's when it happened. Anyway, enough of my mistakes. It's time for us to leave you for the day. We'll be back though, same time, same place, but tomorrow. Set your alarm clocks. See you tomorrow. See you later. www.mediaclick.hu. Bye!